Right. Real estate, yeah, you already know something.
Yeah,
And then I've been here for 6.
Lynn, but she's just running.
Yeah, she's had me a message.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have very good representation on it.
Yes, and I see it.
Yeah. Oh, then you know what, I probably covered for Nancy, I might have made it that way too. Yeah. That's nice, yeah. Yeah, I'm like, wait, repeat your last name again, so I know the last name, and then I know.
All right, guys, let's talk about lead generation. All right, first thing I want you to see is the screen. Sure, come on over a little more so I'm not in the way of the screen. Who here has a listing presentation? No, a formal listing present. Catch.
That was pretty good. You might hit something.
You gotta pat yourself on the back once in a while. Who here has a formal listing presentation when you're going in for a listing presentation?
I did.
A one sheet?
And then I put like Carrie and Tammy's like info sheet, and then I had some information about like selling, and so I had like a folder I put together.
That's a listing presentation, that's fine. And why I ask is how do adults learn? How do you think most adults learn? Visual, what else?
Read.
Huh?
Read.
What else?
Listening.
Listening. Doing, right? The typical way adults learn is hands-on. They have to have their hands on something. And why is that? You know what it is? Because we have too many stressors going on in our lives and too many thoughts going on here. If we're sitting there complacent and just listening, right? Guess how much, here's an interesting stat, which will change your view. In an hour-long talk, how much information does an adult take away from that hour-long talk?
Me, 5 minutes.
How much? How do you put it that way?
7, so in an hour long, an adult will take away 7% of that information. So basically 7 minutes they'll take away. In 48 hours, they'll lose 99% of that 7%. If they're just spoken to. Now, that gradually goes up if they have their hands on something, if there's visuals associated with it. All right, so when we're doing listing presentations, is that a huge lead generator for us?
Yes.
Why is it a huge lead generator for us?
Well, you're in their house.
You're in your house, what else?
You got them. Captivated by.
Who's got a listing presentation again? 2 of you? So that means what, roughly 20% has a listing presentation. That's probably high if you're going against competition. Most agents don't have a listing presentation. It's a simple way to set yourselves apart. All right, from every other agent. The other thing is that when they get their hands on it, what happens? What happens with that presentation? What happens with your folder?
They keep it.
I don't know, they keep it or they throw a number.
They keep it, they leave it on their kitchen table, all right?
Yeah.
At some point, what happens? At some point, they make that decision to
Maybe call the bench.
throw it away, right? Garbage, right? But is it always a decision you need to make before you throw it out,
Yes. Make sure you have to think about that.
right?
Yeah.
So, look at this, lead generation. Right, that's pretty good, right? But when you're doing, no, you're looking at me cockeyed. What's more engaging?
This one.
Hands down, right? So whenever you're trying to convey information to adults, do it with pictures, not text. Look at this.
Yeah.
Such a big.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Not
That's
even
a
close, right? How about that? Blah,
Yeah.
right? But this is what we're gonna learn today. So we're gonna talk about CMAs and learn how to use them to create leads. Right here, everybody know how to do CMA?
Yeah.
All right, when's the last time you rolled on a CMA?
All the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Last week.
Last week? Awesome, so you're proficient, awesome. Simple ways to create value that will drive leads, all right, and then explore different strategies to drive leads. Now, how long have you been in the business?
3 years.
How long have you been in the
Well,
business?
2.
2 months. 19,
A few months.
few months,
8 or 9.
8 or 9. So you basically have 40 years of experience in this room right here. All right, so we're going to learn from each other in here, and that's the kind of session this is built. We're going to do some brain writing, which is a different form of brainstorming. But first, I want to show you a couple things. Is that better than that?
Yeah, he's cuter.
Hey.
Hey, mama.
All right, so right now, and you guys on, hold on. You guys on the web, just put it in chat, put your ideas in chat. Create value. We'll do it.
So those are copies for us?
They will be, so. Information for you. And you guys.
I can see it.
There may be a little shame. What is the White House hoping to take away is outside the U.S. outside? This is an effort to try to present.
I'm Shannon. Tina. Hey. So you four are going to be a group, and you four are going to be a group. 2 people in your group have a sheet in front of you. It's a box sheet. One is creating value. One is lead generation. You have 30 seconds to write down your ideas on creating value or lead generation. After that 30 seconds, we're going to rotate them to the next people in the group. All right, so every 30 seconds, we're just going to rotate these papers around.
So we just write in the box.
Yeah.
So we write in the total.
You write as many ideas as you can in the box.
In one box.
So you watch this.
Not as a group. And then we'll change.
So you're gonna write all your ideas down there. You're gonna take the sheet, you're gonna pass it over to Lisa. Lisa's gonna read your ideas. Then add.
You're fine. Are you sweating? I usually sweat.
More of you are passing the sheet around.
We
You guys understand how this works?
write as many things as we think is how we get through this stuff. And then we just pass it.
In 30 seconds, I'm gonna tell you to stop. You're gonna pass the sheets around, so the next sheet will get us creating value. You get, you're gonna get some of it. You get lead generation. And then we go all the way around. Alright?
Okay, so we're not doing it together.
No, you are, but you're doing it as a group, but singularly. for
Okay, so
everybody.
30 seconds. So right now, every say I lead.
No, just thoughts on how you can lead generate.
And
So,
how you
yeah,
can
if you wanna do how you get them today, that's fine.
Or I know how I can get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with the create value on it, how.
How you So creating value is how you create value for your client. Okay? Huh?
Martina was not
Yeah, well, as long as you're bringing value on that. Right, what value are you gonna
Do we
bring?
have a timer?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the timer. Did you start already?
No.
There's always one. There's always one.
Just in one box.
Yeah. Think. Ready? Go. 30 seconds.
Just keep going
Go.
down.
Or, like people were saying, getting a lot back shots here.
So you guys on the phone or on Zoom should be putting your ideas in the chat on how to create, let's do how to create value right now.
This is stressful.
It's really stressful.
Is it per person?
Hello?
So pass the sheet. Pass the
Are you
sheet.
seeing him at Zoom? Okay.
Pass the sheet.
30 seconds to think.
Yes.
No, I'll give you a couple seconds to think. Pass the sheet. No, listen, take it. Do I have to say pens down?
Yeah.
Really? Go.
What's
Go.
create value?
Go.
Very much. Create value.
How do you create value for your clients? What are ways?
Yeah. 3 months. Oh, I thought it was cheap.
Oh, sorry.
Is his tone today? Because ultimately,
Time, switch it up.
Pen down.
If
Tina, are you cheating over there?
I just got it.
if all the boxes get filled, just go on to the back. Wait, no, you can't start yet. Oh my God.
what he said.
Ice.
I'm teasing.
My poor
No.
friend. She's sweating over here.
I'm sweating up here. Are you
She
kidding
said
me?
if there wasn't, she knew that she would have showed up. Windows to live. She'd rather do this too.
Can also speak on the.
I haven't been yet, like, if you, I'm the best friend for the beach chatter, but I'm always a beach chatter. That is not like, the really picture there. Yeah. Oh, she's still there, drinks every night.
All right, switch it up. Switch it up.
How long are we doing it?
You're gonna get your original paper back.
I was like,
Oh, I can see when I'm out.
No.
oh, covering in Shrewsbury. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, me too. Oh my God, Trish's
Go.
gonna love that. I just messed it up.
Go.
What did you do?
I'll tell you after. Yeah.
You're sorry, because the other one is.
As long as your home is completely protected, directly connects and instantly responds with the help you need, exactly when you need it.
You're gonna tell us to start?
Switch your sheet. Are you back to your original?
Back to original.
You guys back to your original sheets?
It's total home
Yeah.
security.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to look at the sheets. This should have spurred some other ideas for you.
Okay.
So you have a couple minutes to just go on each sheet and put down further ideas that were generated in your mind.
Individually?
What's that?
Individually?
Individually, yeah, just
Okay.
keep your ideas, ask for the sheet to write your idea down on. All right?
Oh, okay.
You can look at your sheet, you can expand on those ideas as well. There you go, beautiful.
So here.
Oh, I see. You know what I have? It was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah. This is. Oh, I don't want to, I don't know. That's why I just, you could focus, so what are we now?
Yeah, I just put my name there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of Shannon.
Harry.
We could, cold call 5 clients
I
a
know.
day and do,
I know.
I'm in the training.
Use polls and like, to poll really.
A day, a little office.
Yeah,
a
that's
day.
Open house, yeah.
And brokers open. You heard us. That trick.
We're all helping each other out here, Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah. How do we get past these? How do we get
I guess at this
past
point, it's more like gas clients,
Yeah, that's fine.
recommendations,
Yeah.
but
these? Mine is 99% referrals.
Yeah.
And very good.
I just don't like keep up with past clients.
Yeah, that's
But,
okay.
what about something in the town?
Yeah.
Just like a town. Congress person.
Networking, schools,
Yeah, yeah.
church.
Oh, you put it too. I don't do this.
I put it on there.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Okay,
I do the-
Well, I have when they pay for my notice.
So,
The type of.
yeah. you do that,
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But in the lead generation, like partnering with outside help, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Do you feel inclined when you do get a mailer from another agent, do you think that really has value? Because it's obviously expensive to produce it.
Exactly, I know that's what I used to do when I have like.
Somebody that's
No,
helping to-
yes, exactly, I mean, I think of those much as a I think that just anytime the user is out there, no matter who it is, I think that that's helpful. So even though I might get a mailing from, another agent at my house, that agent's name becomes familiar to me. So I think that,
That's still the magazine, it's got the athletic portion.
the house and homes one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
There's a couple magazines that are going.
yeah,
Couple
yeah.
$100 a quarter.
Yeah.
It's not expensive.
Really? I'm surprised.
No, this is what I'll say. It's not expensive if it gets you a lead. If you can close a lead
Right,
off of it,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
like, that's why you should
I'm
choose.
surprised because in the inside, printed inside, it says high rec. And that's
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
couple.
you get one of those, you get that from a particular agent?
Nancy Golden did it, Rachel Weston, who's a friend of mine, so I don't
I see
remember
what
her.
you're saying, yeah.
And I say, because the recipes are good.
Yeah,
I do it, but it's not expensive. Sharon's right, it's a couple $100.
Really?
you send it to certain clients.
I send it to certain clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, it depends how many you do, like if you do 250 or you do
I don't know
50.
how you want to write this down, but Nancy Golden seems to go ahead. She came with this basket of like
Yeah.
maybe pens and hand sanitizers, like when that was the thing that's like.
All right, so next, I'd like you guys to read off your ideas. So you guys do lead generation, read off your ideas.
We have,
All right, go ahead.
we have emails, social media, phone, mailers, postcards, which I think might be duplicate, newsletters, social events, networking, farming, Popeyes, Popeyes, not
Popeyes, not chicken.
Although, we gotta bring a bucket of chicken. Sure, that's a good lead generator. Keep updated on new listings and coming soons. Community events, block parties, ice cream socials, handing out your business cards, your sphere of influences, open houses, college or alumni events.
Okay. How about you guys, lead generation?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
We've got, address book sphere, Pilates meetings, Pilates networking.
Yeah, like networking at Pilates where.
Yeah, classes, yeah,
Yeah.
social media, client testimonials, anniversaries, call friends and family lists, network at school, advertise on social, constantly talk about real estate to your sphere, send calls, emails, Christmas cards to past clients, keep Zillow and Realtor.com up to date with like your sales and stuff, Instagram, mail, or a handwritten note, have a party for your clients, mailers, carry cards and hand out wherever you go. 5 clients a day, call 5 clients a day, offer a CMA. Open houses, brokers opens, hospitality, referrals, town events, town gurus, social media, and gifts and treats for clients.
Okay, it's a lot. All
And
right, so
some
let,
repetitive.
some repetitive, of course.
Yeah,
So now you have all these kind of events, networking and things like that, but it's one thing to have, it's another thing to now give them value during those things. So let's read off your creating value stuff.
Okay, market update of their town, handwritten letter, providing service, providing recommendations, weekly emails of new listings, recent sales in area, market analysis, I think that's vendor recommendation, overview of real estate process, CMA, open houses, forward open, marketing materials, and client appreciation event.
So talk to me a little bit more about marketing materials.
It's like high gloss, like printouts or whatever you're gonna leave at the open house or for other realtors to take away while they're showing the property. And he's always got beautiful stuff in his desk downstairs that he does.
Yeah, he does. Okay, let's see your value.
okay, list of certified vendors, attention to details, proper valuation of property, good marketing, best photos and drone, advertising, collaborate with other similar agents, educate them, hold their hand, is that hold their hand? Yeah, that's, yeah, definitely. Contacts to help, informative, hands-on, caring, know your local market, create CMAs, help do timeline of steps before close, like, getting the CO, blah, blah, blah. I can't read the next one, bird, dog to help.
Bird dog, like a person that will promote you.
Oh,
Oh, I know
okay,
so-and-so.
okay, I know.
Bird dog.
Goals and keep them, teamwork and listening.
Yeah, listening, right? And I'll tell you, I'm doing coaching with a bunch of agents. Every single agent that I've done a personality test with is a talker. Which means what? If we're talkers, what aren't we necessarily good at? Listening, right? Which is important. Now, so getting back to marketing and the lead generation ideas, those are awesome, but my experience is agents tend to do them, all those things as one-offs. So, oh, I have a just listed, I'm just gonna send my postcards right there, right to the, let's just say, we'll circle the house and we'll send them. And then what happens? We don't do anything else. We send them and we're happy and we think we did a good job, but each one of your listings should produce your next 2 to 3 deals, right? Here's the one thing that scares me about what you guys didn't list on here, and you can yell at me for this. None of you put expires or FISBOs.
Oh, which one did we put that on?
Lead gen.
Catherine.
I don't do it. I'm being honest, yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Right, that's why I said you can yell at me for it. Why don't we do FISBOs?
I will just be honest with you,
Yeah.
there's a house, I pass it every day, it's a FISBO, and I'm like, you know what, I was literally driving with my husband this week, and I'm like, I'm gonna go and knock on that guy's door, and I'm gonna give him my card, and then I was like, but I don't have my 3-minute elevator speech ready. And the guy was literally sitting on my porch, and my husband's like, he's right there, and I was like, I don't have it in my head. I don't know what I'm saying, like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. And that's why I don't do it, I freeze.
I
I'm being
think
perfectly
rejection
honest
is
with you,
more,
like,
the more rejection, not
Fear,
doing it.
fear, and,
Fear.
and how much rejection do you get from calling a FISBO? If you call the FISBO, oh, they could be pissed, right?
I also thought I was gonna
Because
hear you're like the 10th person to come by here. like,
10,
to the hell out of me.
15, 20th.
Right.
Right? What's the stat on how many FISBOs actually go with an agent?
Isn't it
Probably a lot.
20% or
Yes.
something?
80% eventually list with an agent. I'm telling you, and it's the same thing with your marketing. If you don't have a plan, you're gonna get discouraged and you're not gonna follow through on these things. It's the same thing with your lead generation and marketing. You have this great idea, you know what? I'm gonna put this newsletter together and I'm gonna send it out. What's the 9, 10, 11 steps after that? Is it, so you send a newsletter out, right? And I don't know how you're sending it. Is it email or is it snail mail? When are you following up, if it's snail mail, when are you following up with the email? When are you looking for those people on social media to add them to your social media account? All right, to maybe like something. When are you giving them pieces of value? You gave them a newsletter, you can send some emails out. All right, and then, I hate to say it, when's the phone call going out to them?
We should have like a plan,
You
like week by week of like how you're gonna do.
So think about
You
this.
should, not that I do.
So, no, agents, your top agents do. So think about
Yeah.
FISBOs. FISBOs, everybody thinks, you know what? You get into this business, I'm gonna call the FISBO. And what happens? You call the FISBO and man, you get blown back, you know? Are you thinking, don't ever think about calling me again. Right? Yeah, okay, I get it. But what if you provided value to that FISBO first? So even in .loop, you have these things in .loop, in our .loop, in the templates that explain the buying and selling process. And they're beautiful pieces. You'd have to customize them a little bit for yourself. But what if your first step in your plan was to just drop that off in a mailbox? Hey, I know you're selling your house on your own. These are some things you might want to think about.
That I've definitely done that, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I put that in my listing for buyers back in then, like I did, but I don't do it to people that like are selling.
So
It's a good idea.
your next step with the FISBO, what's your next step with the FISBO?
Well, what I've done, when I've done FISBOs, I've developed a relationship, I guess, with them first. If you're fortunate enough to have a client that actually wants to see that, I might call to say, I have something very interested in your house, either to work with realtors, maybe get a 2% sign or something, and so there was one in Little Silver, and she had, more recently, and I brought the client over there, they were seriously thinking about it, so they didn't want it. So then I said, I had a conversation with, if you want to list with a realtor and blah, 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 and I gave her all the reasons why I decided to list with a realtor, and she said, thank you, I'll let you know, and she did something on her own, but
Right.
so I guess my long-winded answer is to develop a relationship, hopefully with the particular, the particular seller, so they.
Right, so two things. Develop that relationship, but provide them value at each touch in that relationship.
Which was the buyer, right?
Well, yeah, right, you're bringing a buyer to their house that they want to sell, but how about a market report?
Right.
How about dropping off a market report in their mailbox? And, when it's a FISBO, this is 2-3 days in between, right? And then,
Yeah.
holy cow, I'm driving by, I'm gonna drop off the market report, he's sitting on his porch. Hey. I know you want to sell your house on your own. I'm not looking for listings, all right? What I'm looking to do is give you some value. Because, inherently, I know they're gonna list with an agent. 80% of them are. Right, but if you give them value and aren't pushing, because what's the deal with real estate agents? Right? Especially FISBO agents. right? What do? It's a hard sell, right? It's hard sell. You come in from a different approach, right? And an assistance approach, when you build that relationship, they're more likely to listen to you. And you're giving it value, yeah, they're more likely to listen every step of the way. All right. Off my soapbox. You have these sheets in front of you. Does this change your idea at all? Does this change? These are lead conversion ratios. Cold direct mail, 2,000 to 1. Cold internet lead generation, you need 1,600 of them to chase to get one. Cold phone solicitation, 500 to 1, and I think that's if you're good. Door knocking, 100 to 1. Personal contact with friends, 50 to 1. Ad calls, they're calling in you off of an ad, it's 25 to 1. Calling off your sign, 20 to 1. Open houses, 15 to 1. Walk-ins, 10 to 1. Past buyers, 9 to 1. Past sellers, 4 to 1. Referrals, 3 to 2.
We like you, Mike, you can
Does this change? Does this change your marketing plan?
Yeah,
Where do you want to spend your time?
open houses are down.
An issue today in this market? Open houses?
Yes,
Huge,
yes,
right?
it is.
Because one, there's no listings, and two, if there are listings, most people don't want to host an open house because they know the house is flying off the market anyhow. Unless the person who has it listed doesn't want to sell the house and it's overpriced. Right, but even now, we're amazed at some of the prices that these homes are getting. Walk-ins, I mean, we had a walk-in, 2 weeks ago in Atlantic Highlands, Mark Gardner was sitting there, got a walk-in. I don't know what happened with it, but they're few and far between these days, right? Past buyers, so the stat on that, right? 87% of your past clients would do business with you again. 83% would do business with you again. You know how many actually do? 13%. %87% of your past clients would do business with you again. 13% actually do.
So that discrepancy is just based on you not really following up with that?
Well, and why, right? Why?
Why?
Why aren't you following up with them?
Inconsistent. Because we're stupid.
Lazy,
Listen, no,
like, don't get in a.
no.
There's probably just an assumption that they will go with you again, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, but probably not, because think about it, right? When are they gonna do their next real estate deal typically?
5 to 7 years.
I think it's longer now. I think it's actually increased. I think it's like, I wanna say it's like 8 to 12 years now. Especially with the issue with supply. There's not enough supply there, so people aren't apt to move as much. So you have to keep in contact with these people for 8 years, right? So it's funny. Lisa came in, I asked her about her CMA. I use it for a newsletter. Your CRM, you have to use your CRM. You have to. And what's beautiful about CRMs, it's set it and forget it. All right, and it's going to alert you. And I don't believe in just dripping on people. I don't like that. I don't like that as a consumer. But your CRM should include personal text, personal phone call, handwritten note. All right, so when you build out your 5-year your 7-year plan in your CRM, once a quarter, there should be some sort of personal touch, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text message, whether it's a handwritten note. Right. So, and I'll flip the script a little bit. How would you feel if you got that from somebody you've done business with?
Happy, appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, you know, the personal note, hey, no, we haven't seen each other in a while.
Well, what is
Let's-
business?
Let's grab coffee. All right, are you talking about business in these? No, I don't think so, not the personal reach outs. Are you talking about business in your drip emails? Yeah, you're updating them on their home, on what they should be doing in their home in different parts of the season, absolutely. You need to give them value, right? But like you said, you also have to create that relationship. All right, does that make sense? Past sellers and referrals. Now, here's another, right? Anybody know who this guy is? All right, his name's Jeb Blount. He is a prospecting genius. All right, he talks about the sales cycle, but his go-to is prospecting. And I'm sorry, it's text, but I couldn't put it any other way. 1 to 3 touches. You have to reach out to your client who has become an inactive customer 1 to 3 times. How many of us call the one time and they don't reach back and we let it die on the vine? All the time. At least 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 5 touches to engage a prospect who's in the buying window and is familiar with you and your brand. 1 to 5 touches.
What is that, like a month or what? 1 to 5?
Listen,
Like how much?
we always talk about art and science, right? You have to know the art of it. What's your customer? Is your customer driven? You know, is he bold? Is he red? Is he green? Is he technical? Does he want a lot of information? Does he want a lot of touches? Is he the life of the party where he wants to talk? Is he another talker where he wants to talk? You gauge your customer on that, right? The closer they are to buying, the closer the touches should be. 3 to 10 touches to engage a prospect who has a high degree of familiarity. 3 to 10 touches to engage somebody who understands your brand, but is not in the buying window. 3 to 10 touches. How many are we touching now? How many touches are we doing now? 0 to 1, I would guess. Right? And think about the agent mindset. What's the agent mindset? Hopefully you're hunters. All you're thinking about is the next deal, the next 30 to 60 days. Right? Where you have to start thinking longer than that. And I'll say it, who here gets sucked in on social media for an hour? For a half hour? Right? It sucks. A lot of us don't have the discipline, and this is just human nature. I'm not picking on anybody, it's just human nature. I get sucked in too, man, and sometimes it's brutal, you know, where I gotta snap out of it. But if you can schedule your time to be doing these lead generating activities, right, goes a long way for your business. We'll talk a little bit about that. 5 to 12 touches to engage a warm inbound lead. Again, who here stops at 1? 1 reach out. I didn't call back. Right? 5 to 20 touches to engage a prospect who has some familiarity with your brand, buying window dependent. What does that mean?
You don't know if they're gonna be buying or selling soon.
Right, then that's kind of like creating a market, right? Like, I don't want to sell my house, but if Catherine comes in and says I can get $1.2 million for my house, guess what? You might think about selling it, right? 20 to 50 touches to engage a cold prospect who does not know you or your brand. Think about that. When you are sending your just listed, just closed postcards. They have no idea who you are. You're doing it, I don't know, you're doing it for your customer, your client.
That was more like 7. I thought it was like 7. Wow.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
20 to 50 touches to somebody who doesn't know you.
So how do you fit in everything else in your life?
Huh?
How do you fit everything else in?
Well, right, exactly. How do you fit, like doing all this stuff? Like, oh, so what can we set and forget? And what's your strategy? What is your strategy? You know, are you spending time on cold prospecting? You know, and if you're farming an area, what's your plan? You know, what is your 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, 4 months plan? Right, this whole thing is, we suck at planning, we have a good idea that we execute on, and then we wait back for it all to come rolling in, all these leads to come in, and nothing happens, and we're like, well, that didn't work. Am I right? I mean.
100%.
All right, so.
We don't have to write down every single little thing.
Can I send this?
You'll email me.
Oh, yeah. What I want you to do is go back to those sheets. You get 2 stars for each sheet. Put down the star next to what you think the best idea is and that you can execute. All right, so lead generation, these 2 ideas are the best. I'm just gonna put a star next to each other. Huh? Yeah, and then pass it around. And then pass it around. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not as a group. Do it individually. You're gonna look at your 2 ideas, you're gonna put the star down and pass the sheet. Do it individually.
So just write it down as that piece.
Well, you're in.
You're gonna
Good idea, great, everybody good?
It doesn't matter, you can duplicate, like.
We're the same.
Ideas we.
What I want is the best ideas to rise to the top. So the one with the most star down, I'm like, I was focused on.
I never did, I've never done that.
No.
No, you don't. That's it.
So I also felt like.
Like, we were doing studies, I just said this.
And that's how we're getting.
Right.
2 stars on your top 2 ideas.
Oh.
Your top 2 ones.
And then this one is. So that's star.
Yeah, the others is the
So in the past, I learned it's like, several times. I've done that kind of in the past, but I think it's right. That's a lot.
That's a real lot.
Yeah. It's a lot of investment too.
I have to say,
Yeah.
in the training that I'm told me, I will say that, so, Shannon, I have 5 calls a day. It has been the most motivating thing I have.
Really?
Like, I actually feel even, which really for me, I'm outside, after lunch, so,
Right.
No,
Right.
and it's really,
And are you prospecting or are you keeping touch with old clients?
I'm getting in touch, or, he gave me, or into my address book.
Yeah.
He's like, well, how many do we have in there? I'm like, 3 grand. But it's crazy.
Wow.
I got a phone the other day, I can't even tell you, I went and saw a bill,
Wow.
I would have never, and I hadn't even called him, he took my call right away. I went to Suzanne, I'm like, he's like, thanks for your he's like, of course, always get your call, Kat, like, you know, but like, but that phone call, I would have never thought.
Right.
No cold calls.
No,
No cold calls.
no, I'm in not cold, I'm in. Yeah.
Yes,
She's
right. You don't believe in Walmart.
I do, but you're not touching, I will make an assumption that you're not touching your spear enough.
I didn't think I
And
would.
until you're touching your spear enough, don't
Yes.
even worry about it.
Yeah, I think that.
You know, and It takes a long time to get that.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You know that.
All right,
You talk
sounds
to
good.
them.
This is
They're
good.
gonna be listening
Yeah.
on the conversation.
Yeah.
I agree with that. It's very good.
I'm
I'm gonna do a TV show. Something.
Yeah, I don't think I ever go out there, I have dinner plans, so I go to friends, I know who's there come up. And I make sure I know the local market, and when somebody says, oh, what about house this, I wanna make sure that I know, so that's, for me, that's number one, you know?
I'll give you $10,000.
My goal is to sell like 10 houses.
Where are you at?
Very good vibe.
So your goal is to sell.
That I want.
Yeah.
Right, I know the goal should be high.
And then I wrote the Saturday down. We went to Thursday, Friday last night. So it's just crazy
You know anybody that wants to buy or sell?
Wait, on lead generation, let's talk about goals.
Always. Because that's what people hear and your friends, your true friends, trying to help you get to that.
My goal is to sell 30 houses. Right.
Yeah, you said that, yeah. And then they want us to put us through that, they say, like, they wanna give you business.
Right.
Yeah. But when do you grass? No, you have to get it defined.
All right, has everybody filled it out?
Right, it is.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're like, oh my God, this is great.
Which is also a strategy, like, you don't have conflict, talk about some bad things, or this is terrible. Yeah, so you kind of want to.
I actually have a big dream. I work for.
I do, I say something, I said there's just not a lot of business, there's not. Right. Or at least my opinion, it's like the first one.
And I couldn't wear the other parents on, it's up like $30 to make it, so I'm like, yeah.
You need to see that we're having such a market share.
Yeah,
So I can do
yeah.
the open houses. And you can see.
Good marketing, right? It's
Yeah.
not glaring,
And now it's like,
it's
okay,
there.
tell Perry, I'll get on the list, but like,
Right.
she's just not.
Lead generation.
It's not much.
Sphere of influence, Facebook, we
Yeah.
got some Facebook expires.
People are saying
I
that.
was talking to Tammy, and she goes, I had no idea these were speaking of cell phones.
Market updates, God, they're so easy too, right?
Thank you for sending one last week too, that was.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do it every month, because that was the market.
I was like, you look like a little girl, I don't mean
You know,
to.
take it as a whole. Take one of the numbers and put your commentary out to send it out, you know?
It's like, could you send out emails or our Facebook posts, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let me see your sheets, you guys fill them all out?
Yeah, we allowed us to have the same start.
Yep, that's great. That's what we want. So lead generation here, we have open houses, referrals. And I think that's the only stars we have, open houses and referrals. On this sheet for lead generation, we have SOI, we have FISBO and expires, and we have open houses. So you guys are hot and heavy on open houses. for creating value, listening. Who doesn't want to be listened to? Right? Creating CMAs, informative hands-on, keep due timeline of steps before close. How about timeline of steps for a buyer? Right, and what that looks like, because especially first-time buyers, and especially in this market, right? Like patience, right? Patience is a virtue in this market. And then create value, market update, weekly email of new listings, market analysis, CMA. So we talked about CMA in the beginning here. Let's talk about CMAs now. To me, this is the way to create and generate your most leads, right? How big is your sphere of influence?
Off the top,
Throw a number.
50. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would say like Facebook friends.
No, not Facebook
Even
friends.
like-
No, your sphere. The people that know you, love you, and want to do business with you and trust you.
I would say 50 maybe.
50? 100?
Just the other.
Know you,
Right
love
there.
you. Know you, love you, and trust you. Those people that you can call friends and know that they'll do business with you. Or they'll refer you. It can be 10. We'll skip you right now.
It's hard to guess. I would say 50, but maybe
50.
that's. I would think
Okay.
I'm high.
All right.
Yeah, I'd have to say like 100.
100,
I would say
50 to 100, 50,
30.
30,
Maybe 15.
maybe 50. All right. So let's just say everybody has around 50.
I think that's good.
Right. How many CMAs have you done for your sphere of influence in the last year?
Why would I do a CRA for like?
0.
So let me ask you this. Are you a real estate expert? Are each of you real estate experts? Let me throw another term out there. Are each of you real estate professionals?
Yes.
Real estate what?
Professionals. Yeah? All right. Then you haven't done a CMA for your most trusted people in
Why
this
would I?
market. And you've lost your mind.
Did you say we were stupid before?
These are the people that know, love, and trust you. Hey, Jim, as part of my real estate service, I always do CMAs for my clients. Can I stop by on Wednesday night, have a little wine, do a little CMA, let you know what your house is worth in this market? No, I know you don't want to sell. I totally get that. I'm not asking you to sell, but part of my service is to reach out and give each one of my clients, friends, neighbors, a CMA each year. Is that an easy conversation to have? For your know, love, and trust? How many leads? Now, the going rate, like how many of those should you do a week? This is the scary part.
5, 2 or 3.
Huh?
2 or 3.
10.
You guys are saying you have 50 in your sphere. What if you did 1 or 2 a week? How many leads do you think would be driven from that? And guess what? I'm telling you, you're not looking for their listing. You're looking for them to be like, holy cow. Trish gave me the CMA. She did an awesome job. I can't believe all the details she put into this. Jimmy, you're thinking about selling, right? You gotta use her. That's what you're looking to these for. In my experience, it's typically not one-to-one. Especially with the CMAs and phone calls that you're making, it's typically not one-to-one deal. It's typically you're reaching out, they know somebody that may have something. And who here makes that phone call to their sphere of influence who know, love, and trust you and says, do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell real estate? Who here does that? I'm gonna hug every single one of you because if you said that to me and you're my buddy, I'm probably cursing you out right there. Like, I know you're in real estate, of course I tell you. Well, you know, but you make that a transactional relationship at that point. Don't make it transactional, make it a relationship. Let them know that you're the expert, right? Let them know how you prepare your business and what information you're giving to them. Right? I'm telling you, it's the easiest way to generate leads that close. Right? You can try all this other stuff. Huh?
I have a question. With the, the website that you pull the NAR, RPRs, I haven't saved because I can never remember what it is. But there's like so many report options, and sometimes I feel like it's almost overwhelming. I want to like send somebody a 25-page document, like like Trisha's saying, like, you know, sometimes people just want a one-pager, you know, and just like give me like
What do you want?
recap. So I
What do you want?
sure, like 1 to
I
3
want-
pages, like.
I want 1, 2, 3 pages. If you want to put on a couple of homes that are like mine and pictures of them, cool. But that's the thing, when you're doing your CMA, you've got to do the work. It can't be, you know what? Yep. Pull out the report, it's 70 freaking pages long with absolutely useless information in there. You are not going to look like an expert when you drop that off in front of your buddy. You're gonna look like, dude, you just pressed the button. Like, was there any thought behind this? No, create your CMA. That's great information to create your CMA. That's not just from Flex. You know, that's tough, right? I do it all the time and I'm like, why can't I get just 8 to 10 pages? And even that's too long, right? Not 70 pages in all of this. Yeah, but have you used RPR? Has anybody used RPR?
Yes.
Right? I like RPR better, but you need to go in there and make it your own. Do not drop that CMA down, because guess what? Is anybody gonna look at it? No one's looking. Listen, I got, and I'm bad about this. Like somebody sent me, I was having a business relationship with somebody. Mike and I had lunch with him yesterday, and it's a good opportunity. He sent me a text message that I think was 7 paragraphs long. Do you know what I did with that? Zip. No freaking way I'm reading it. There's no way. Same thing with your clients and with your friends. There's no way. Break it down, and again, make it for them. If they're red, if they're direct, they want to know bottom line, make that CMA bottom line. Listen, Jimmy, you've been in the house 5 years, right? Here's a beautiful picture of your house. Here's 3 other houses that look and sold just like yours. You can make 30% if you want to sell this. Done. Right? You have your engineer who wants, you know, every step of the way. Well, how'd you figure that out? And why? So you include more in that person. The social person, what do? The social person, right? Pretty pictures, right? Pretty pictures, let them know what they can get, but what's that conversation like? It's less on the house, more on the party, right? I mean, but do you want to get that information in there? Yeah. Do you want to make it visual? Yeah. You know your clients, right here and right here, you know how they want to receive information. Does it take work? Yeah. Does it take formatting stuff? Yeah. Will it pay off for you in the end? Think about it. Think if you had one of these conversations with your sphere of influence once a week for the next 52 weeks. Once a week. How many of you going out with coffee with your sphere of influence? How many of you meeting your sphere of influence once a week, whatever that is? Kinda, right? Do lunch, right? Why not have this conversation over lunch? It's, I'm just telling. Any questions, thoughts, comments about that?
It's great.
Right, so that's where this C of A, and who here will have a difficult time having that conversation?
So tremendously moved by what I saw.
Anyone will in the beginning.
I will.
Keep doing it.
I will. That first 2, 3, 4 phone calls, guess what? I'll be tripping over words, I'll be tripping over myself, right? It happens all the time. You know, anytime I'm introducing something new into my business, it's freaking uncomfortable. Really is. But so was walking at one point. But somewhat proficient at that, right? You just get up and you do it again. And I'll tell you, so I recruited for a year. So I got up every day, had to make cold call phone calls to people every single day. That never hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
So that was a mental fight every single day, but I will tell you, after the second phone call, off and running. Oh, after the second phone call, then you just like, because guess what? People aren't as scary as we make them seem to be, as we make them, you know? We think we're gonna call this FISBO, because one time somebody yelled at me, and I'm gonna call them FISBO again, because that's how they all are. Typically, they're not. Typically. Are they once in a while?
That had one who was like so mean, but then after talking to him, it became like so nice.
Right.
Huge changes. I wasn't looking to get his listing. I was actually looking to show it. And he really changed his attitude.
Yeah,
He
and
was like, well, I'll keep your number if anything changes.
you know what you did? I can guarantee what you did on that phone call. You let him vent,
I did.
and you
And he
listened,
actually,
right? If you let,
it's fine, go ahead.
if you
Oh,
let
you're
them
watching
vent,
that.
yeah, you let them vent, because guess what, guys, it's not personal.
No.
And sometimes we're a little immature in our thinking, and our ego gets in the way, and we take it personally. It's not.
Yeah.
It's whatever that person is going through at that moment in their life, and how many people have called up and hard sold them on why they need his listing. Right, and you didn't want it, you're like, no, listen, go ahead, Ben, and then you added value. Hey, your value I can bring is that somebody that might want to buy your house, and whoa, does the tune change all of a sudden? Yeah, now, I will tell you this, right, what's that? Do not go to a FISBO and tell them you have a buyer. If you don't have a buyer.
I really did.
No, I know. All right.
A little embarrassing, but what is RPR?
Anybody know? So it's in the MLS.
Okay.
If you go on the menu, I don't know what. But it's listed as RPR
Okay.
in the, if you go to those 3 dots menu on the left-hand side, I think it's all the way on the right. You know those columns.
Yeah, it's usually, I think we do the more.
Oh, okay. It's realtors probably, okay.
We just know that, here,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Hey, it's 11:35. I can't let you leave just yet. All right, so what I want from you is in your notebook, on your phone, I'd like to see a 4-month plan from you with what you're going to do each week to generate leads. And then I'm going to take pictures of it.
So it's writing out.
Well, if you want to put it in your phone, I can put it in your phone. There's a ton of ideas. You start them. And I'll send this out to you guys as well. I'll send all this information out to you guys as well. 4 months. Because guess what? You know what? What if we did 1 week?
That's a little more feasible.
It's a little more feasible, but doesn't work,
No.
right? So think, what is 4 months? 4 months is what? Should be 6 to what? 12 touches?
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose to provide care. The caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
And when I mean touches, it could be just drip email. It could be next couple of months, probably, it could be a little pumpkins at the door, whatever that is. But consistency is key.
Everywhere they go and whatever. The COVID-19 vaccines are effective at preventing disease, and millions of adolescents have already been vaccinated safely. The city is offering $100 to anyone who gets vaccinated. Get your child vaccinated against COVID-19 and receive $100. Visit nyc.gov/COVID vaccine.
Game parlay bet on FanDuel Sportsbook. You can make this, just this, all that odds and this. Just be off to place any NFL same game parlay bets.
Now that medical drama is back for season 4, parents have a lot on their plates. I want to get your professional opinion. And Tyler is here, now Tyler is, not face to face, I'm giving you a hug from here.
Nice virtual, I think we've all got accustomed to virtual.
A lot of them are.
Yeah, I mean, the crossroads were now at the end of that season, not just maybe, but yeah, maybe that stops.
Well,
I feel the same too, but I feel like I'm just not utilizing it.
well, the website that they give you is great if you're a blogger.
I don't use it much.
But the upgraded one is decent. Right? So there's two upgrades, $15 upgrade. So there's a $15 IDX one and there's a $30 IDX. $30 IDX when you're sending out the signals to people. The $15 is not as usable, but you can have this stuff that eat into Well, I think there's a program right now where you can tie into social media. They have some kind of social media platform and stuff, but it's like, regardless if you do an IDX or not, it will do that. I think it's another $1.
Yeah.
We have to demonstrate to the audience that you are being.
Right? What do they say?
Why do you think so?
Perception. That's a great scenario. Hey, it looks like you're doing great in real estate. How do you answer that? Because if you answer it, yes, I am, their ears are shut down. They're like, oh, she doesn't need any help. But if you answer it as, I'm really enjoying my job, but I still haven't hit my goal for the year. Right?
Very good.
Yeah, but I still haven't hit my goal for the year, and I'm still looking, and I love this, and I mess it up all the time. I'm still looking to put 3 people in the house of their dreams.
Ooh. That's where I always be like, yeah, I love it, and then like, it's that next line that I never know where to go, it's like.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, you must be killing it, it's such a good market, and you're like, it's great if you have sellers, it's not great if you're working with buyers, it's really hard.
Yeah,
But that doesn't get you to the, trying to,
No,
goal line is
no.
good.
What your objective is to get them to open their minds and open their ears to the conversations they're having when you're not around. And if you do the CMA, it sounds like you're doing a good job with the social media, so they know you're a realtor, they know you're working, you do the CMA and see how professional you are. That all ties together and like, you're thinking about, I know a person, and this is what she did. Wasn't looking for anything. This is part of her business. Look, where's the referrals? And that's why we do the CMAs, is because of the referrals. We know that we want that kind of capture rate on this.
What's the update with farms? How are people doing with farms?
Right now, like I said,
So, what?
something that everyone's doing now.
So I keep in touch with other agents that I've worked with before. And
They're all at our age, freshman and junior.
because there's so many buyers,
Yeah, Ava George.
she finds out where the buyer wants to go.
Oh,
And then
God,
she writes handwritten parts.
John
White, yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
I am.
I didn't know that. Yeah, you're the better half. You said to me this whole time.
Yeah.
First
I
thing
think
is
that
that
I
you
was thinking,
know,
I was
I
I was like,
the time,
this is the
you
last
know,
thing,
what
maybe it's
time
gonna be
is
the
it, you
last
know,
thing.
about
Yeah.
Maybe your last.
So then how many do you think you have to write?
And so it's so funny when you came in, I didn't introduce myself
first
downstairs, because I'm like, I know her, I look like an idiot and not know her, she just showed up.
Right,
like right now,
But it's
fire.
for social media,
Oh, that's so
yeah,
Right, so,
yeah.
so that's what we talk
How's
about.
you doing? How's amazing going?
Mason?
Buying
Good.
trade
Yeah,
one.
so like, great, and
Where's
then
the-
cheese, and like a middle town ocean or.
What's his price range?
I wanted to study
Yeah.
because he's down, so.
Exactly.
Prepping during the
So,
closers
middle
on 750.
They better do the best.
Now,
Yeah.
maybe we should. Yeah.
What kind of product?
Mason Firm City.
Because I don't have particular about it,
Just
so they just call the area.
Yeah.
More back to the
And then
football.
season, basketball. My younger son's on it, I'm on, with big microwave residential neighborhoods, but we
His
never
first time was
varsity
football,
fair.
so he's a little
Right,
like,
You know,
yeah.
little summer.
He's going to our special
Yeah.
Well,
teams.
summer once in a while, you can do something, so.
Yeah.
We've been doing less of that.
Yeah, I have a friend
Kind
who
of
does,
big area.
her two boys
When
live
you've
in
been driving around, you've seen, you've
some
been
kind of football
listening
league
to what they're really
before high
looking
school.
for.
Oh, like a.
They see a house in the
Football,
neighborhood.
yeah,
Town has their own
Mhm.
kind of.
Popcorn.
Yeah, like AYF or.
Yeah, she has
Always complained about the stockhouse on the part of other opposing parents. And how they don't know. One of the
That's saying right now, that only matters to homes on the
So
market.
sweet.
And she
Doesn't
was
matter
there and she was
to homes off the market.
Yeah.
And
Typically doesn't matter to those owners
So
off the
crazy.
market.
it was just so.
It matters to the ones on the market, because there's so much competition. They're winning
And
to the ones that aren't on the market.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
It's actually,
Yeah, and it just has such a crummy.
I mean, when people are.
Yeah,
doing
because
like
you're
this
staying
thing,
with
like,
us,
so I
why
kinda
not?
Yeah,
like
you're
through
trying,
their
you're
children.
trying, you know,
It's
it's
really
you just think about the
Yeah.
habits
Oh, that's
of
good.
society.
Well, I had a dance.
The same hand,
so I
to see if
know
we
a
can
lot
stir
of
up
people.
some-
Yeah.
That personally matters.
No, I gotta get right.
You know?
Do you know the daughter?
It's not a big deal.
I did that,
Somebody
yes,
that's thinking
all
about
growing
it.
up.
Doesn't wanna deal with the
Super
process.
less.
And writing my love, I was
Wants to
so
have,
got
you know,
my year
wants to
degree,
be
I
nice,
didn't
yeah.
dance, and I.
I didn't know that, my friends at, I just. It gives me agita.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to Lottie, my best friend, a little bit twice last week, together, and there was. And the conversation, yes, in the beginning, and she was making, I was like, everybody get on the machine, I'd be like, ready to kill everyone, except for that conversation was just too much at 7:30 in the morning. Like, I felt for myself, yeah, it's somehow, and listen, I used to work at TikTok my whole life, shit went on my life at 48, so I mean, like, there was always two paths on the street.
All right, last thing. Now, we built this on your ideas and your brainstorming. But I just wanted to go through when I was building this the three things, or not the three things. I think there's like 30 ideas here. Some of them you covered. Pick up the phone and make calls to your SOI or write to them. The three phrases to open that conversation is thank you for something, congratulating on them for something, or just thinking of me. You are on my mind. All right? Simple phrases. Meet your top 25 contacts in person once per quarter. Host a first-time buyer seminar. How important is that today in this market? And how much information could you deliver to a first-time home buyer right now?
A lot.
Ton. Sales letters to absentee owners. Hand out free seasonal treats, pumpkins, Halloweens, flags on the 4th of July. Expired listings, what you see there, the older ones. Don't go after the one that expired today with the 40 other agents that called it. Go after the one 6 months that had it 6 months ago. See where they're at. Non-real estate related local events. Jump out, what at least English had a great thing the other day. How many leads did they get? 40? Something like that?
I wish I did.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like 30 a piece, like for whoever the.
Yeah.
people or whatever. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Brilliant. And what about her mom, Renata, doing that Mashon club, and it's gotten like 30 people in it.
Right.
Non-real estate related, but guess what? Those relationships. CRM drip campaigns.
What is your drip campaign? You mentioned that earlier.
What is a drip campaign?
Yeah.
So think of it, you're on them, they show up into your email box all the time, and typically what you do with them is you ignore them. You see it, you know what it's about, and you go right past it, right? What we're asking you to do is create those drip campaigns, and I've seen ones that are 52 weeks long, so every freaking week you're showing up with somebody's email. I don't like that, that's too hard for me. I like 12 to 24 drips as long, and I don't like drips if it's just a drip and it's not personal, you're not reaching out to them by phone, text, or handwritten note. But your email will show up, give them something of value, give them something, hey, it's fall, make sure you clean your chimney. This is the time, make sure you change your batteries, something of value. But the importance of it is for your client to see your name in their email box, right? And how many clients have you lost because they forgot you were related?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Or we don't deliver it.
Would you consider your monthly newsletter, like it's
Monthly newsletter.
Thanks so much.
Monthly newsletter is a drip campaign. That is the prototypical drip campaign, right? And that newsletter, it's nice, right? It does the trick. It's got, and you can customize it.
or not, it's like done for you.
Or set it and forget it.
Set up.
That's what I, yeah.
And then every month before it goes out, it'll tell them that it's not open at Facebook, really not see what it is.
You change it, you change it.
Yeah. And then it'll-
Second comment.
Yes,
and exactly,
yeah, that's worth the $29.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Although 1 month I didn't read it before it went out, and I was like $4 years. I was like, oh, it was so cheesy.
really?
The Western one, it's like an old Western movie, and I'm like, hey, did you read that one? Oh, no. It was like 4 to 5.
Just everybody else sets it and forgets it.
Before they go out.
So one of our agents just sent one out, took all of it out, took all the content out, and just had a nice personal letter in there that just went out to everybody.
Yeah.
I think he put in the stats. The stats that I sent out, I think he put that in there, just to make himself an expert, just to clarify that. Testimonials. Testimonials are huge. The issue with realtor testimonials is if you don't have a website, they're hard to distribute. They're hard for people to come in and see. Video-based marketing, who's doing videos?
That's the serious one.
So the last session that we did, what was it, on marketing? The guy who started his YouTube channel 3 years ago is now getting paid by YouTube because of his videos.
Amazing.
His first video, and I think everybody agreed, was absolutely horrendous.
Yes.
His latest video was art. It
What's
was
his name
beautiful.
again?
Bill Olson, Olson.
Was he, did they do an article about him in the Wall Street Journal?
No, I saw that, I don't think so.
Great seeing you, Jack.
Okay. Lead gen, community service, how many of us are doing community service? Huge. You know it, even if you're not a realtor, how important is community service? We all say we want to do it, and what happens? Life gets in the way. Planning. Content to engage your subscribers, we're talking about that, newsletter, magazine, blogging. Personalizing excellent customer service. What does that mean? What's excellent customer service?
Listening.
Listening's huge. Being available. So I'll give you my first real experience with customer service. So you guys all know Nicholas, right? The eatery, right? So back when it first opened up, I got a promotion. My wife and I went there, knew it was just, it was gonna cost us a lot. But we went there and walking in, being seated, the wait staff was excellent customer service. I think at that point, and this is early 2000s, I think, when, it was like open maybe a year or whatever. Paid $300 and something, and I don't drink, for the meal. Walked out of there with the banana bread, right? And I don't know if he still does it, but right. But the customer service, and I don't think I had at that point ever paid over $300 for a meal in my life. But I walked out of there saying I would come back and do it again in a heartbeat because of the customer service, because of those little things, those unexpected things that they did, like the banana bread. Get home, what you do, freaking eat banana bread, it's awesome. But you never forget those experiences. So what kind of experiences can you put into your step-by-step plan that is just a little bit extra? And the banana bread, how much did it cost them? Nothing. Close to nothing. But the impact it leaves on somebody.
And the packaging with his logo
And a little bow on it, brilliant. Unfortunately, I don't even think we waited to get home to eat it.
probably important that we're so small.
Also, the good news is they've changed the restaurant, so now you can get out of there probably for like $150.
Is it still as good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just more bar-ish,
Okay. Alright. It made
But
some
they still have their wine.
They nail
Yeah, working with home builders, real estate investor meetings, Chamber of Commerce, which Lisa English did, lawyers, God, lawyers. How many have relationships with divorce lawyers? And why not?
That's what someone just said to me recently, I felt
Turns
like an
into
ambulance chaser, like going to talk to like divorce.
Right, and that's where, that's how human nature goes, right? Like, that seems so
Sleazy.
right? But
Yeah.
But
I guess.
think of it from this side, that your compassion can really help in a situation like that and help those two people, really the one person you're gonna work with who's struggling with this. Can your compassion help that person? We always go to the negative, right? What is the psychology on that? We have 80% of our thoughts are negative. Human nature, if you don't do any work at all, 80% of our thoughts are negative, 20% are positive. If you do some work, you can lower it down a little bit. If you have that anxiety and it's 90% or higher negative thoughts. All right, think about that when you're thinking about your business. Do real estate agents get a bad name?
Yes.
Tell me one industry out there, when you think about it, that doesn't get a bad name, that doesn't get a bad rap. When I was growing up. When I was growing up, it was the financial world that you didn't think got a bad rap. Oh my God, you know? One guy crushed that. Customer appreciation. Customer appreciation.
I have, I love you.
You all said you had 50 people in your sphere roughly. How many customer appreciation days did you have with that? Even 5 of them. Bring them to dinner, get them together talking. Door knocking. You're sending out these postcards to these areas. Does that invite you to door knock? If you're able to, I know some places you can't door knock. But you send this open house postcard to this area, right? Day of open house, you're knocking. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I have an open house, love to have you come over, but if you notice anything that I should be aware of, just come over and let me know. Just let me know we're there all day.
The one time I did it, I totally chickened out and I was like sliding them like under the mat. And then someone would pop out and be like, hi. There was like 2 people.
Handwritten notes to your sphere. These handwritten notes are not business generators, something personal that reminds you of them. Again, you go with the 3. Thank you, congratulations, thinking of you. Oh my God. This one, you guys, and I'm saying you guys are the worst. Do you know how many phone calls I've made out to O'Brien agents? And I'm gonna say maybe 10% of you picked up the phone when I called. You had no idea who I was, but you assumed that I was, you know, doing a car warranty or something. So you don't pick up your phones. Pick them up. Ask your client for referrals. When's the best time to ask your client for a referral? When you're working with them? Best time? Closing table. They are so happy and thrilled, hopefully. You'll know, right? You'll know whether that's appropriate or not. But when they have that joy in their minds and their hearts asking for the referral, right? Because at that point, it is strictly business related. Branded clothing, belt buckle. Open houses, we know, send out seasonal cards and gifts to SOI, offer free real estate advice, CMA. Social media contests, I don't see many of us do social media contests. And distressed homes. Distressed homes, yeah, I put up there, but we will get back to distressed homes. We are not in that market right now, but it will come back. It will come back. Yep. But social media contests. Think about it. All right. Had way too much of your time today. Thank you for your patience.
No, my God.
Branded clothing.
Are you on a photo of our plan?
I'm coming around to take photos of your plan.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You know why?
He's such a nice guy.
Their conversation.
He was a very nice husband. I like him. Very nice husband.
How's the market going?
There's always a nice wife behind a
Yeah,
nice
and
husband.
then that's when you come over with your expertise. And you go,
It's nice to have a nice family.
what's going on? I'm still working with you. Mark's here, yeah.
Yeah, everyone said that. You know what's really funny is, yeah, it's so funny when, yeah, it's so funny when you see kids just.
How old are you? That's okay, I thought you said it was 4. My friend is.
You were messing up her. I wasn't done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
I spent it just on my parents and I. Which are cook, I did lasagna on Sunday, it's like, you know, what the heck.
Yeah, he needs to call you, but I'm not able to talk to her right now. Okay. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, right. Fine. All right.
No, thank you so much, I appreciate it. I still have John down, but. try to put something into action, but this is helpful, so thank you very much.
Not very detailed here, but
It's there, it's there. Hey Shannon, for tomorrow. So I'm gonna go to LBI and be there for 9:30 for CO. Can you wanna set the 45 early, maybe it's too early?
No, if that's what you wanna do.
Yeah, because I don't wanna lose my time slot, otherwise it has to be Thursday.
You can't do it later on in the day.
Yeah, but I feel bad, I don't think I'll get back till like 4:30. Is that bad, like a 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
That's not should be cheap, but it should.
The only reason is I sold that hotel. And I don't know if the, I've never done one, if the inspectors have to go through every room, I don't know if the inspectors have to break on
What about Thursday?
Thursday, what works for you Thursday? It is a pleasure, I'll see you later.
You're on my list for coaching as well. Yes. But I think you're my chair, which is February. But if I can move you up.
I also wanna have. It's great.
Do you have?
I can do whatever you say on Thursday.
You wanna do 8 on Thursday?
Yes, perfect. I'll come on a beach, do you want?
Yeah.
This was awesome. Great, thanks.
You coming tonight?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Catherine, I don't know if you know her name.
I do, from Heritage House. How are you? Oh, great. I didn't want to interrupt before you look great. And I follow you and like all your things, your family looks great. Yeah, I'm great.
I just kind of joined over here in March.
I was gonna say, when did you, okay, good.
So, but like.
Well, the first networking thing we can do is we can get together for a drink.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
We're good at that. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. Thanks for saying. I do very little. I don't really do it anymore as much because I just kind of do it with my schedule. So, but anyway. Oh, it's great to see you. I'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.